In this example, what I'd like to do is generate a lot closure report for this lot SL50. I've already labeled the lot boundaries using our MS Annotate labels. And to generate a lot closure report, we need to go into our MS Tools ribbon. Under the subdivision group, you'll find the lot closure program. So if we just click on this to bring up the command, here it asks you to enter a name for your lot. So I'm just going to give it SL50. Oh, sorry, SL50. And here you have the option to store points in your database. So if you're working off a paper plan and you don't have any points coordinated in your project yet, you can check this off so that when you are creating your lot, it will store points in the database. And you can also specify a starting point for whatever you choose. But since my point's already coordinated in my project, I'm going to have this unchecked. Next, it asks you for a starting location. If you know the northing and easting of your location, you can manually type this in, or you can pick on the drawing to get location, which is what I'll need to do. And I'm just going to start from the lot corner down here. Once I've done that, it automatically inputs the northing and easting of my starting point. You also have the option to draw lines and curves as you are creating this lot, but mine are already drawn for me, so I'm just going to leave that unchecked. If we hit OK to move on to the next step, here's where it asks us to start creating our lot. You can see by my starting point, it gives us a little arrow for where we're starting from, and it asks us if the next line segment is a line or curve. Since we have a line, it asks us to pick our azimuth. So if I hit pick, I'm just going to choose on the azimuth label here. And you can see that that gets updated into the azimuth field. And next I'll hit pick for distance, and I'll choose on the distance label here. And once I've done so, you can see on the screen that there is a purple circle there for a preview of where the point is going to land if we want to store that. Since that looks right for our lot, we're just going to hit append to move on. So once we do that, it moves us on to the next point here. And you can see that after I hit append, it automatically moved us to the next point. That is because we have the dynamic pan setting off. So if you have this setting toggled on, it'll constantly update itself so you can always see where you're drawing from. So next we're over here, and I'm going to pick on the bearing, or the azimuth, sorry. And since this azimuth is carried throughout these lots here, it's stored down here, so I'm just going to pick on that. Oh, it didn't register it, so let's try that one more time. And there we go. And I'll pick on the distance again. And the preview looks right. Sometimes the preview does not show up, or it disappears right away when you move, sometimes when you move the mouse. So a good way to check to make sure that the direction is correct, you can use the swap button here. So if you hit swap, it'll give you a preview of what the other direction looks like. So this is a good way to check just to make sure that your directions are correct and you are appending to the right position. So I'm just going to hit swap once more, and that's the right location, so we're going to hit append. And next we have our azimuth up here, and it is a split bearing, so we can use our pick 3 option. So once I hit this, next it asks us to pick 3 pieces of text which define the degrees, minutes, and seconds. So I'm just going to pick on 144 degrees, 5 minutes, and 11 seconds. And if I hit enter, you'll see that that gets updated into the azimuth field. And I'll just pick on the distance here. And you can see that the preview now, it is projected in the wrong direction. So now if I hit swap, it brings us to the right location, so we can hit append. And we also have the pick both option here. So if we use this, you can just window in the azimuth and the distance label, and you can hit enter, and this automatically updates both fields. And I'm just going to have to hit swap once more to give it in the right location, append. And next we are at our curve here, so we're no longer at a line. So we have to switch to our curve option. And at this curve here, we have an azimuth to a radial point. And the azimuth is 6901.45. And for the curve information, you have to manually input the information. So for radius, it's 38.35, and the arc distance is 12.132. And you can see that our preview currently is already in the wrong direction. So if I hit swap, now it's in the right location. And this is the front of our lot. So I'm going to make sure to have the frontage checked off so that shows up in our report. And next, I'm just going to hit finish. Oh, sorry, I made a mistake. We're going to want to say no to cancel this. I forgot to append to the last location here. So I'm just going to hit append. Now I can hit finish. And now it generates our lot closure report. It lets you know where it's stored. One thing I recommend doing is going into the page setup and changing the orientation to landscape so that it looks a little bit better. And you are able to save this now, or you can copy and paste this into your drawing. I'm just going to hit exit. And that is how you generate a lot closure report in MicroSurvey CAD. Thanks for taking interest in this video.